Hello, students. Good evening, everyone. Hi, Mr. Garg. Hello, Mr.
Hi
Kothari.
everyone. Hello.
Let's wait couple of minutes. Students are joining currently.
My voice is not clear to me.
Yeah, better now. Hello.
Give me a minute. I think I should rejoin.
Sure, sure. Please do. Hi, Manoj. Is it better now?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, your sound is also echoing, I think, from network.
Wow.
Everyone, please mute your mics. I think someone's mic is on. So you shall start. Student will join in the meantime.
I think yesterday we had.
From your end only it is echoing.
Manoj sir, you have to unmute. I think you have not unmuted. Hello. Hello. Yeah. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? No, it is still the voice is echoing. Yeah. That.
I think two mics are open all together or two devices are close by, so इसीलिए echo कर रहा sound. एक बार please check करेंगे?
Sarika, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can. I think now it is better. Could you please say something?
Yeah, so I'm just asking, is it better now?
Yes, yes, much better.
Okay, perfect. So
Yeah,
I'm
Mr.
sharing
Kothari,
the.
you're on mute.
No,
Acha,
I'm
okay,
speaking.
okay.
Can you hear me?
You have
Yeah, actually,
joined
I
from
changed
the
the.
two devices.
Correct. I'm
Correct.
facing some issues, that's why I joined from another device as well.
No worries, no worries. Please proceed.
Okay. So, yesterday we had a discussion about blockchain and Web 3.0 basics. So, anybody, any questions, any thoughts before we move ahead with the today's session? Okay, fine. So, today we will talk about the, I mean, things which we discussed yesterday. So, what I'll do is I'll open workshop question and answer so that we can talk, discuss, and you all are feel free to actually answer those questions which I'm sharing right now. So, let me know once you are able to see my screen.
So, Sarika, I think anyone who would wish to answer can just raise hand, and we can coordinate if possible, just to make the session more interactive.
Sarika?
Yes, yes, I'm here. Sorry. Please. Yeah.
Yeah. What I'm saying is
I'm
that, I mean,
saying,
now we are actually, yeah, sure, please. Appan.
So,
so Manoj sir is going to have an interactive session with students where
uh-huh.
he will just revise the concepts through an MCQ questions.
Okay.
And so, anyone who wish to answer, the options are there, and they can
Perfect,
just
perfect.
suggest their answers.
Mr.
Okay.
Perfect, perfect. Mr. Kothari, it is your session, your students. Please feel free
Yes, yes.
how you gonna treat them, or
No,
maybe
no,
you
what
can.
I am trying, no, no,
Uh-huh.
what we are trying to say
Hmm.
is that, I mean, so if somebody would like to answer, so can we ask them to answer? I mean, that way actually we can coordinate you and me.
Yes, 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 we can, we
So,
can. Students, please
so
be interactive. Maybe right, wrong answer, it doesn't matter, but please participate in those question answers. It will be helpful for you also. You can drop your
yeah,
answers in the chat box as well if you're not comfortable in talking and all.
perfect. Yes, that's correct. So, I mean, the first question is, I mean, of course, it is related to the session we had yesterday. So, I think it will be actually I mean, easy for you to actually think and answer. Even if you can't answer, I mean, it's okay. You should participate. So, the first question is, what is the core definition of a blockchain? So we discussed about the core definition of blockchain yesterday. So will that be a centralized database managed by a single corporate entity, or should it be the shared immutable digital ledger that records transaction across a network of computers, or should it be a public forum for encrypted communication between users, or should it be a distributed file system for storing large media files securely? What is your opinion as the core definition of a blockchain out of these four options? Everybody has to answer. Yeah. Option B. Murari is saying option B. And anyone else?
Option 4.
Option D, you mean, right? This one.
Okay.
We have answer in chat box also.
Okay, so let me open the chat box.
Everyone, please use chat box for your answers. Just write A, B, C, D, which is easier.
Yes.
And with some gap, we all can then Mr. Manoj sir can just share the answer. So he'll
Yeah.
reveal the correct answer once we have
So
two
don't worry about,
responses.
wrong. I mean, it's okay to be wrong. Then
Yeah,
not
that's fine.
participating.
Yeah, kindly share your answers in chat.
Then I will start, calling people. Yeah, Jay, you want to say something?
No, sir. No.
Oh, okay. Okay, so like Murari Jha says, the answer is B, the shared immutable digital ledger that records transaction across a network of computer is the core definition of a blockchain. Okay, let's move to the next question, which is what three specific pieces of information does each block contain besides transactions? Should I read the options or you can answer? Okay, let me read it. So the first option is user passwords, API keys, and server logs. Option B, timestamp and a cryptographic hash linking it to the previous block. Option C is random number, a creator ID, and a geographic location. And option D is a consensus algorithm type, binding difficulty, and node count. So what do you think? What should be the option for this?
B. Option B.
Option B. Okay, yeah. So Murari and Jaya is saying option B. Let me reveal it. And yes, that's correct. So list of transaction, time, and a cryptographic previous block is the piece of information each block contains. Perfect. Now the next question is, what are the four key components that make up a blockchain? So your options are A, server, client, firewalls, and routers. Option B is distributed ledger, block, nodes, and cryptography. Option C is databases, user interface, APIs, and analytics. And option D is tokens, developers. So what should be the option? I think Murari is again saying B. Anyone else? Why only one or two people are actually answering? Uh, Krishnan, Jaya, Govardhan, Koel, Anuradha. Please speak up. Deepa, Tapovardhan. Yeah. So yes, that's correct. The answer is option B, distributed ledger, block, nodes, and cryptography. Okay, let's move to the next question, which is what is the primary differences between a public blockchain and a private blockchain? So yesterday, if you remember, we talked about private and public blockchains. So let's see how much you know about it. Public chains are for money, private chains are for data. Public chain uses proof of work, private chains uses proof of stake. A public blockchain is open to anyone. A private blockchain is restricted to a specific participant. And option D is public chains are slow, private chains are fast. Yes. So Murari is saying option C. Anyone else?
Option C.
Perfect. So yes, that's correct. That a public blockchain is open to anyone. Like we discussed yesterday, it is public and anybody can actually participate to the blockchain. but a private blockchain is actually restricted to the specific participants with the help of username, passwords, and login methodology. So yeah, that's correct. Now the next question is the purpose of the distributed ledger component. What is the purpose? To generate new crypto tokens, to facilitate cross-chain communication, or to ensure that every participant has a copy of entire blockchain, maintaining consistency and preventing tampering, or to manage user authentication and login details. So, except for Murari, anyone else would like to answer? Sridarshan, Shubhangam, Gaurav, you guys are silent. Please speak up. Anish. Okay, so the answer is that it ensures every participant has a copy of the entire blockchain, maintaining consistency and preventing tampering. Yes, like Sarika said, you can also use Google to chat. But better if you can recall what we discussed yesterday. Okay, next question is, what are the three roles do node perform in the network? They advertise products, manage finances, and handle marketing, or they design applications, write smart contracts, and debug code, or they validate transactions, store the data, and maintain consensus, or they create new users, reset passwords, and audit security protocol. So, what are the three roles of nodes? We study about the nodes. Every node is having a copy of blockchain, and that they can actually validate it. So, option D, Paras is saying option C. Okay, let me reveal the answer, and the answer is C. They validate transactions, store data, and maintain consensus. So, what are nodes? Nodes are actually copy of blockchain, and whoever is working on that copy, they validate the transactions. Right? Okay. So let's move it. So next is, what two security mechanisms does cryptography provide on the blockchain? Time locking and geofencing, data compression and cloud storage, or it encrypts data and verifies the authenticity of transactions through digital signatures and hash functions, or it provides two-factor authentication and DDoS protection. So what are the two security mechanisms? You must have, studied cryptography in college as well. Okay, so I'm revealing the answer, and the answer is C, like Gaurav and Murari says. Gaurav and Murari says. So yes, it encrypts data and verifies the authenticity of transactions through digital signature and hash functions. Perfect. So I'm moving further. Next question is, list three key advantages of blockchain that reduces risk and cost. And your options are high latency, complex regulations, and vendor lock-in, or distributed control, cryptographic security, and transparent auditability, or centralized ownership, low transparency, single point of failure, or massive data storage, easy data deletion, and rapid scaling. So, as usual, Murari answered it, and the answer is B, distributed control, cryptographic security, and transparent auditability. So, how many of you are aware about this? The three advantages of blockchain. Koel. You can answer in chat if you want. Can you hear me, Koel? That's you. I mean, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Apal? Okay. I think they are shy to reply. Anyway, so let's move further to the next question, which is what features makes blockchain an ideal technology for secure transactions by managing network agreement? So what do you think about it, guys? What is the feature which makes this blockchain as ideal technology? Okay, Paras is saying B, and yes, Paras, that's correct. Yes, Murari and Paras. Gaurav. The answer is correct. Consensus-based validation, which reduces cost, frauds, and single point of failure. Perfect. Okay. So next question is, which type of blockchain is ideal for applications requiring maximum decentralization and community governance? Yesterday we heard about this public, private, hybrid, and consortium. So what do you think? Which one is actually ideal for maximum decentralization and community governance? Okay, so Murari is saying option B, or option D, and yes, that's correct. So it's public blockchain, which gives you maximum decentralization and community governance. Okay, so next question is, which type of blockchain is governed by a group of organizations offering tailored solutions? Yes, anyone? Private, hybrid, consortium, or testnet? What is the answer? Govardhan, Deepa, Gaurav, are you hearing me?
It is more carefully of the session.
Yeah, I think Murari is answering very well. Yes, that's correct. So it's consortium blockchain. Correct. Now, going to the next question, which is a blockchain that combines elements of both public and private chain is known as what? I think it's very simple. So, except for Murari, Gaurav, can anyone answer? Yes, Priyanshu, hybrid. Okay, so the answer is hybrid blockchain. Now let's talk about the next question, which is what is the very first step when a user initiates a transaction? Yeah, guys. So what happened when user initiates the transaction? Is it validated by miner, or is broadcasted to the network of nodes, or it is immediately added to the next block, or the smart contract is executed? What happened first? Yes. So the answer is B, like Murari and Paras. Thank you guys. You are actually participating very well. So answer is broadcasted to the network of nodes. Okay, moving further. What must the nodes do before bundling transactions into a new block? So, I mean, right now what happening is we already have distributed transactions, circulated the transactions on the network, and now we are bundling it. So what should happen just before the bundling? First option is they must pay the required transaction fee. Option B, they must verify the transactions validity using predefined rules and consensus algorithm. Or option C, they must consult a central regulator. or option D, they must compress transaction data? Okay. So the answer is option B. Yes, that's correct, Gaurav. Paras, Murari. Yep. So it is, they must verify the transaction's validity using predefined rules and consensus algorithm. Okay, this question, what two qualities does the consensus process ensure when a new block is added? Option A, elasticity and scalability. Option B, centralization and control. Option C, immutability and finality. Or option D, low cost and rapid speed. So it's not answer B. It's not option B, it's option C, which is immutability and finality. Because it cannot be centralized, it cannot be, elastic. So it will be immutable. Okay. So what characteristics ensures that data on the blockchain cannot be altered once recorded? Is it fungibility or immutability or volatility or centralization? Yes, guys, what do you think? Okay, so Murari says option B, immutability. Yes, that's correct. Okay, next question is, what does it mean it operates without a central authority? Option A, it's expensive to operate, or it is decentralized, meaning no single entity controls the network, or option C, requires a government approval, or option D, it can only handle a small amount of data. Okay, so again, last five answers, if I see in the chat, it is coming from Murari, and I think Murari has answered almost all the questions. Paras is sometimes replying, Gaurav is replying sometimes, but Priyanshu is also replying, but other guys silent and you're not even writing on chat. Please participate. Okay, so I'm revealing the answer, and it is decentralized, meaning no single entity controls the network. Thank you, Akash. Okay, now what is contained within the blocks component of the blockchain? So will it be a user profile photos or operating files or transactions or advertising metadata? What should be in the blocks? Yes, that's correct, Murari. So it should be answer C, batches of validated transactions, because yesterday we discussed that a block will have thousands of transactions and a timestamp and the hash of the previous block as the content of the block, right? Okay. So next question is, what benefits relates to the ability to track every transaction transparently? Is it transparent auditability or data secrecy or the cost complexity or single point of failure? Anyone? Okay. So it is transparent auditability. Why it is transparent? Because it is open to all and anybody can see the entire copy of the blockchain and they can read. So that's why it is transparent and auditable. Okay. Next is, what does programmability in blockchain primarily refers to? So in the blockchain, what we can do is we can write custom and automated scripts to perform some business logics or business rules. And that can be a normal JavaScript program or a normal C# or .NET program, or it can be programming. So what does it be? So I mean, is it the ability to connect to external databases, or is it the ability to compress data quickly, or is it the ability to execute logic on the chain, typically via smart contracts, or is it the ability to change historical data? So I think Akash is saying option B, but the answer is option C, which is the smart contracts. So if you remember, we discussed that smart contracts are automated programs or scripts which we can write to actually. Okay, so moving further, what is the collective term for the rules and algorithms used by nodes to agree on the state of the ledger? Anyone? So how we are making sure that this, I mean, the state of ledger is this? What is the collective term for that? I mean, do we use any function or algorithm or any protocol? What we do to actually make sure that yes, all nodes are agreed to it, or at least 50% of the nodes are agreed to it, and that is consensus or consensus process, when we use proof of work algorithm, or I mean, there are multiple algorithms to verify this. Okay, next question. If a single piece of transaction data in a block is changed, what happens to the block's cryptographic hash? Yesterday we discussed about hash. Okay, so let me just read it out. So the first option is the hash remains the same to maintain the chain. Second option is hash immediately changes, invalid block and signaling tampering. Option C is the hash is temporarily paused, and option D is the block is automatically deleted. So I think Murari Gaurav replied that it should be option B, and that's correct, because once we change anything, even the timestamp of the transaction data, the hash is changed. And if hash is changed for one block, it will be changed for all the upcoming blocks, which is signaling the tampering. Okay. So moving ahead, next question is, how does the distributed nature of the ledger help maintain data integrity? Yeah, anyone? How does the distributed nature of the ledger help maintaining data integrity? How we maintain the data integrity in blockchain? A few questions back, we read that every node has its own copy, right? So what happens is, because every node has a copy, any attempt to tamper with one copy would be immediately rejected by the majority of the network. And like I said, there are, 51% user has to agree at least, or 51% nodes has to agree to make the block readable to blockchain. Oh, sorry, writable to blockchain. Sorry. Okay, moving ahead. How does blockchain generally improve efficiency in transactions? By relying on multiple intermediaries, or by eliminating the need for intermediaries, third parties, and reducing processing time, or by making all data public, or by increasing data storage requirement. How does blockchain generally improve the efficiency? Yes. So I think Gaurav, Murari, they all are saying that option B. And yes, that's correct that by eliminating the need for fees and reducing processing time, we can improve the efficiency of a transaction. Okay. What is the purpose of the timestamp in a block? Option C, Gaurav. Okay. To set the transaction fee or to generate the block's hash or to indicate the block size in megabytes or to provide an indisputable record of when the block was created and added to the chain, ensuring chronological order. And that's correct. Thanks, Priyanshu, Murari, Gaurav. It's a correct answer. Okay, so moving ahead. Which type of blockchain is managed by a pre-selected group of organizations offering more efficient transaction speeds than a public chain? And Murari is saying option B. Yes, that's correct. It's consortium blockchain, which is actually managed by a pre-selected group of organizations. And yesterday we also discussed that it is, safe and secure, but it will have issues if one organization is actually doing negative. Okay. Next question is, once a transaction is verified to a block, what happens to the distributed ledger? Is it the miner's copy is updated? Miner is the person who is writing to the ledger, or the ledger is archived and replaced with a new one, or all the nodes update their copy of the ledger to include the new block, or it is that transaction is immediately deleted for privacy. So Murari is saying option C, Gaurav is saying option C, and that's correct that all nodes update their copy of the ledger to include the new block. Because the transaction is verified, so it is necessary that all the nodes are having this updated value or having this updated block added to the chain. So next question is, what does distributed control means in the context of blockchain benefits? Anyone? Murari, Gaurav, Priyanshu, Akash, Paras, only few guys are responding. Sarvesh, Sahil, Tapovardhan, Naveen, Govardhan, Shivahari, Krishnan. Why are you silent, guys? There is no point in answering wrong. At least you get to know, what is in your mind and what is the correct answer. Don't worry, nobody is going to judge you here. Just answer it. Yes, Paras. So you are saying option C. And yes, that's correct that no single person or organization has total authority. Power is spread across the network. And that's the actual meaning of distributed control. Okay, so moving ahead. Next question is, what specific technology is used to verify the authenticity of transaction and secure data on the blockchain? Yes, who will answer that? Paras is saying option B, Murari is saying option B, Gaurav option B. Now Govardhan, you should answer this. Govardhan, please write your answer in chat window if you are hearing me. I'm talking to you, KIT Govardhan D. Where are you? Are you there? Okay. Okay, so seems they don't answer. Anyway. So it's option B, cryptography, which is specifically digital signature and hash functions, is the technology used to verify the authenticity of transaction and secure data on the blockchain. Okay, so moving ahead, I think this is the last question in the blockchain category. So, guys, be focused. What is the result of the cryptographic hash function linking blocks together? Yeah, Gaurav is saying option B. So let me read it out. It creates a temporary data buffer. It forms a secure and chronological chain. It determines the transaction fee. It deletes all transaction data. So yes, like Gaurav, Priyanshu, Murari is answering. Thanks, Paras. So yes, it is option B. It forms a secure and chronological chain. Perfect, guys. I think we are done with this blockchain. And now we will talk about Web3. Today, I mean, we also discuss about Web3 as what Web3 is and what Web 1, 1.0 and 2.0 were. So, okay. The first question in this category is Web3 is the third generation of the internet. What characteristics defines the shift from Web 2 to Web 3? And your options are shift from mobile first to the desktop first design, or shift from the platform centric model to a decentralized architecture that shifts power and control to the, or option C, shift from static content to dynamic content, or the option B, shift from open source to proprietary software. So Akash, Murari, Gaurav, they all are saying that it should be option B. So yes, that's correct. It is option B, shift from the platform-centric model to a decentralized architecture that shifts power and control to the user themselves. So what happened in Web 2 was, I mean, like we can see WhatsApp or Facebook, they all are actually managed by one centralized authority and we all are the users. But now with this Web3, we are just, I mean, we are no more just the users and we can actually participate in this decentralized architecture as a node. Okay, moving ahead. What role does token economics play in the Web3 ecosystem? It standardizes the file format for media, it manages the physical infrastructure of the internet, or it is empowers user to own and monetize their data, participate in decentralized governance, and engage in new economic models. So what happens with token economic plays in, I mean, if you know, even if you see in the blockchain, we see that there is a person who is actually validating the transaction first, and that person is known as, or that system is known as miners. So whenever a miner whose block is actually finalized is getting paid, right? So he will be actually monetized for what he, for his efforts. That way this decentralized thing works, because if I don't pay any person, then nobody would be interested in actually working as a, I mean, authority. So the answer is option C, token based economics empowers users to own and monetize their data, participate in decentralized governance, and engage in new economic models. So it is the similar behavior what when we see the like YouTube or I mean this Facebook or Instagram, what they are doing is they are monetizing user for their content. So it's not like only Facebook is earning, the users are also earning. Okay, moving ahead. Next question is, name two key features of Web 3.0 besides decentralization. And your options are high latency and complex UI, platform exclusivity and data silos, proprietary protocols and closed systems, or it is permissionless access, integration of AI and machine learning, and connectivity. I think we all know, it is option D, permissionless access, integration of AI and machine learning and connectivity, seamless across devices. So, yes, Gaurav and Murari, thank you. It's the correct answer, D. Okay. So, let's move further. Next question is related to Web3 architecture. The Web3 architecture is layered. What is the role of the protocol layer? Remember yesterday we discussed about multiple layers like application layer, protocol layer. So anyone knows? Okay, Gaurav is saying option C, Murari is saying option C. Yes, Paras, correct. So the option is the protocol layer is where consensus is established. It determines the rules for validating transactions and adding new blocks to the underlying blockchain. And it is similar structure where we studied in blockchain as well. Okay, next question is, name the three generations of the internet and their core characteristics. Yes, now it is interesting. So we all know that the three generations were Web 1, Web 2, and Web 3. But what those were? Like option 1 says that Web 1 is social, Web 2 is mobile, Web 3 is IoT. Option B says that Web 1 was read-only, Web 2 was platform-centric, and Web 3 is decentralized. Similarly, option C is saying that Web 1 is audio, Web 2 is video, Web 3 is holographic. And option D says that Web 1 is US centric, Web 2 is Europe centric, and Web 3 is Asia centric. So, yes, we did not talk about US centric or Europe centric, so that's not the option. We also did not talk about audio, video, or holographic, so that's not the option as well. So, the option is option B, like you all are saying, read only, platform centric, and decentralized now. Okay, next question. How does Web3 achieves a more secure, transparent, and user-controlled internet experience? So the options are by centralizing all powers, or by being built on decentralized infrastructure, primarily leveraging blockchain technology, by eliminating all digital identity checks, or by adopting closed source software. So, like we all know, we are here talking about blockchain. So, it should be answer B, by being built on decentralized infrastructure, primarily leveraging blockchain technology. So, thank you, Gaurav, Murari, Paras. It's the correct answer. Okay. Next, besides participating in governance, what is the key benefit of token economics for users regarding their data? Options are, it forces user to give up data control. Option B is, it automatically deletes user data after 24 hours. Option C is, it restricts user data access. Or option D, it empowers user to own and monetize their data. What is the key benefit of token economics for users? I mean, few questions back we discussed that token economics means monetizing. So yes, the answer is option D. It empowers user to own and monetize their data. That's correct. Well done, Murari and Gaurav. Okay. Now next question. In the context of Web3, how does decentralization ensure user sovereignty and resilience? And options are by having one powerful central leader. I don't think we are talking about centralization, so this should not be the option. Then option B is by requiring all users to register with a government body. We already discussed that there is no governing body, and this option should not be true. Option 3 is by distributing data and decision making across a network of nodes, eliminating central point of control. And option D is by limiting the number of total users. So even we don't have any choice of limiting the number of total users, so answer is option C, distributing data and decision making across a network of nodes, eliminating central point of contact. So good job, Gaurav and Murari. And let's move to the next question. What does permissionless access means for an individual user wanting to engage with a Web3 application? What is permissionless access? Does it mean user must first get approval from a large corporation, or does it mean anyone can participate without needing permission from a central authority? Or does it mean that user with large amount of crypto can participate? Or does it mean the application is closed to public access? So Gaurav, Murari, they are saying option B, and yes, that option B is correct. It means anyone can participate without needing permission from a central authority. That's why it is permissionless. I mean, as the word suggests. Okay, moving ahead. Next question, question 40. What is the purpose of integrating AI and machine learning into Web3? Gaurav has already answered it. To replace human developers entirely, I think we cannot do it even today. So that should not be the option. Option 2 says that to generate random number for security. I don't think we need AI or machine learning to generate random numbers. I mean, there are a lot of algorithms available to generate the random numbers. Third is to enforce centralized censorship. We all know that Web3 does not need any centralization. So the option should be to enhance user experience, provide personalized services, and optimize decentralized applications. And that's correct. Gaurav, Paras, Munari, thank you so much. Moving further. Okay, now so far we have completed 40 questions. So anybody, if you have anything in your mind, any questions, anything you would like to suggest or discuss, or you would like to tell your experience to others, please feel free to raise your hand. So I'll take a break of 1 minute here to know if anybody is interested in speaking anything. How many are there? Oh, Daksh, Sahil, Diksha, are you guys here listening? Sarvesh, Naveen.
Students, please respond.
Yeah, Daksh responded finally. So Daksh, anything you would like to share, or if you have any question or anything, any suggestion, and any point you would like to raise? Okay, fine, perfect. So let's move further. Next question is, what does Web3's feature of connectivity enable across devices and platform? Okay, so the options are isolated standalone digital experiences, or option B, mandatory use of a single operating system, or option C, it enables a unified and interconnected digital ecosystem, or option D, the exclusive use of wired internet connection. I think wired internet connection is no more a connectivity thing. So option should not be a D. So what is the answer? Answer is option C and not A, Murari. It is enables a unified and interconnected digital ecosystem and not the isolated one. But anyway, thank you for participating. Moving ahead. Yeah. Okay. So what is the highest layer in the Web3 architecture which manages organizational decisions? The interaction layer, the infra layer, or the protocol layer, or the governance layer? Mm, Murari is saying option D, and which is correct, that the governance layer is, I mean, for DAOs and decentralized autonomous organizations, is the highest layer in Web3 architecture. Perfect, Murari. Well done. Okay. Next question. Which layer of the Web3 architecture handles the user-facing products? Governance layer, or the protocol layer, or the application layer, or the service layer? Okay, so Paras and Murari are saying option C, and yes, that's correct. Yes, Priyanshu, thank you so much. Option is C. Okay. Now, next question. Which layer provides the infrastructure for compute and storage? The governance layer or the infra layer? I think the question has the word infrastructure, so it was easy to guess infrastructure layer. But well done, Murari, Paras, and Priyanshu. Yeah. Next, what is the function of service layer or the middleware? Does it handle the final data deletion, or does it create the blockchain consensus rules, or does it act as a middleware bridging the protocol layer and the application layer, or does it exclusively for token generation? So what is the function? Okay. Wow. Finally, I see Sahil's response as well. And yes, Sahil, that's correct. Priyanshu, that's correct. It is option C. Act as a middleware, bridging the protocol layer and the application layer. Okay. So moving ahead with the next question, which is question 46. And here, now we are not talking about Web3 here, we are talking about Web2. So please keep in mind, we are talking about Web2 here. So in Web2, who primarily controls user data and platform revenue? Is it individual users, or is it centralized entity or large platform providers like social media companies, or is it decentralized autonomous organizations, or is it independent government regulators? So Gaurav directly says FB. Yes, the option B is correct, and which includes FB as well, Gaurav. So well done. So in Web 2.0, we already have studied that it was the era of social media, and here everything was managed and controlled by the social media companies or the centralized entities. I mean, like YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, they all have been controlling the user experience and everything. and we had no control on anything, or any rule they are preparing. Okay. Now we are back again to the Web3. So, what is the decentralized nature of Web3 intended to shift power away from? Yes. What is the decentralized nature? Is it the power and control held by centralized entities or intermediaries? Or is it the control of individual users, or it is open source community or general public? So yes, answer is B, that it is actually shifting the power and control held by centralized entities or intermediaries to decentralized. So now, the power and control is not with the centralized authorities, and it is decentralized to the users. So well done, Priyanshu, Sahil, Murari, Paras, Gaurav. Okay, so now I'm moving ahead. So again, this question is related to token economics, and economics is like we discussed that it is related to monetization of miners. So let's read the question. Give an example of how token economics allows user to participate in governance. Is it by selling their personal data?
कितना टाइम हो गया है आयुष और फिर आई नो लाइक 2.5 महीने में ठीक से पीरियड आया मेरे बीच में ना 2-3
Aditi,
बार
can
वैसा
you
आया
mute
कि मैं
yourself,
फोकस
please?
लड़ा था अगले दिन नहीं आता
Aditi, please mute your mic.
और और ना इस वाले में पता क्या हुआ मेरे को भी रोज ब्लड आ रहा है बट और
Aditi
थोड़ा सा आता है
Kumari, please
और
mute your
लाइक
mic.
कैसे ज्यादा ही होगा मेरी बात सुन
I think, Sarika, you can mute her.
Give me a minute.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So we were talking about this question 48, which is give an example of how token economics allows user to participate in governance. So I think you guys are trying to say option B. Okay, but let me read it out. By selling their personal data or through DAOs like decentralized autonomous organizations where token holder vote on proposals, or by paying high annual subscription fee, or by mining new cryptocurrency. So yes, option B is correct. Well done, Gaurav, Priyanshu, Munari. It is through DAOs or DAOs, which is decentralized autonomous organizations, where token holders vote on proposals. And based on their vote, we actually confirm the transaction, and when we actually make the block final. Okay. So moving ahead, next question is what characteristics ensures Web3 fosters innovation and inclusivity? Is it centralized control, or high barrier to entry, or it is permissionless access, or it is proprietary software? So I think it is, straightforward, because it cannot be centralized, it cannot be proprietary, and it should not have any barriers to entry, so it should be permissionless access. So that's correct. Paras, Gaurav, Murari, I'm sorry. So it is permissionless access. Okay, moving ahead. Now we are at question 50, and only few people are participating, and they are repeating users like Gaurav, Paras, Murari, Akash, Priyanshu, Sahil. Okay, anyway. So how many total layers does the presented Web3 architecture consist of? Yesterday we talked about, multiple layers. Will it be 3 layer or 4 layer or 2 layer or 6 layer? So like you all know, I mean, it is a straightforward answer that 6 layers, and it has also that information like infrastructure layer, protocol layer, service layer, application layer, interaction layer, and the governance layer. So the total layer in the Web3 architectures are 6, and that's correct. Paras, Murari, Gaurav, thank you so much for the answer. Okay. Next question. Which layer handles the user interfaces that people directly interact with? So here, when we are talking about user interfaces, it means, I mean, nodes are having binaries and APIs, but there should be some user interface wherein a miner can read and write or can actually approve or disapprove the transaction. So which layer is actually talking about that interaction layer? And the answer is the interaction layer, option C, not the application layer. Paras, Gaurav, any doubt? Any question? Okay. See, interaction layer is actually here to interact, right? Because what we are doing with application layer is we are actually talking about application layer. We are not talking about the user interface. User interface is something just the interface. But application layer is where the application manages the logic. And here we are only talking about the user interface. And that is why it is interaction layer and not the application layer. Okay, so moving ahead. What underlying technology is Web3 built upon to achieve decentralization? I think I will not even read the options and you should know the answer. Yes, absolutely. When we are talking about decentralization, it cannot be client server, it cannot be private proprietary servers, it cannot be standard SQL databases. So it has to be blockchain technologies. So Web3 is heavily built upon blockchain. Okay. Yes, this is interesting. Which characteristics best describes the internet era known as Web 1? I mean, yesterday we talked about Web 1, Web 2, and Web 3. And we told that Web 1 was, I mean, in the era of 80s to 2000. Then Web 2 came when where we were talking about social media network like WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, and then this Web 3 where we are talking about decentralization. So, what was Web 1? So, was it a dynamic and social? No. Was it related to mobile and interactive? No, because mobile were not even available that. Was it fully decentralized and owned by users? No, because that is the characteristics of Web 3. So the option is read only and static websites. Like we have seen in early 80s that, I mean early 80s, 90s, that we were having only websites which is providing the information to user, and I mean nobody can read or write or do any action on it. So the option is read only and static websites. So well done, Paras, Akash, Priyanshu, Gaurav, Murari. Yes, you all have answered correct. Okay, moving ahead. what does NFT stand for? I mean, yesterday we touched base upon NFT because we were only talking about right now, I mean, basics of blockchain. So we did not discuss a lot about NFTs yesterday, but I mean, what we discussed based on that, can you tell me what is NFT stands for and what is its basic role in token economics? So Daksh, Akash, Sahil, Murari, everyone is saying that it is option B, which is non-fungible token, which allows the unique ownership of digital assets. And I think that's correct answer. Well done, guys. I mean, you all have answered absolutely correct. Gaurav, Murari, Sahil, Akash, Daksh, Paras. Well done, guys. And thanks for your participation. Okay, next question. The concept of user sovereignty in Web3 is most closely related to which core function or core feature? It is centralization or high transaction fees or decentralization or proprietary software. I think it is evident now that it should be decentralization. Yes, and that's correct. So, well done, Murari, Gaurav, Paras. The concept of user sovereignty in Web3 is most closely related to decentralization because with this decentralization only users can actually have the copy and they can actually, I mean, do the audits. Okay, next question. Question 56. So we are only 5 questions away. Okay, what kind of organizations are managed by the governance layer? Yes, guys. Okay. Is it Web2 social media companies? Or is it centralized server farms? Or is it traditional banks? Or is it decentralized autonomous organizations? So yes, I think, I mean, all three options are not even actually related to what we are studying. So it has to be DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations. But yes, great job, Gaurav, Murari, Akash, Paras. Yeah, well said. Okay, next question. Providing personalized services is a function of integrating which technology into Web3? Is it AI and machine learning? Or is it old analog communication systems? Or is it proprietary file formats? Or is it fixed static server responses? I think majority would like to say option A, and it is correct. It is option A, AI and machine learning. So I think we yesterday discussed that in Web3, we are leveraging the concept of decentralization as well as AI and machine learning. And now with this Gen AI, we are one step ahead from what we wanted to achieve with Web3. Okay. Next question. What is the term for the current state of the internet characterized by major platform providers? So what is the current state of internet? Because we all know Web3 is past and it was only available till 2003, 2004. Then we came across with Web2 and our future is with Web3. But since Web3 is our future and it is just starting, I mean, these days, so what we can say is the current state of internet is related to Web2 mostly, which are the platform centric web applications, including social media network and all. So I think Murari, Gaurav, Akash, Priyanshu, perfect answer. Great job. Okay, next question. The use of cryptocurrencies is a part of token economics for what primary purpose? So what is token economics? First of all, token economics is that we are monetizing a person or a miner for his work in the, validating the transaction and finalizing the block, right? So if cryptocurrencies are not involved, how would we monetize them? So the answer is, for economic models and facilitating value exchange transactions, we are using token economics and cryptocurrencies. Yes, digitalizing our currency. But actually, digitalization of currency, maybe in multiple concepts, but in case of cryptocurrencies, it is different. Because when you are talking about miners, they are only dealing with the blockchain wallets at the moment, like bitcoins and all. But when we are talking about digital currency, it can be our, Paytm based application as well. Understood, Gaurav? So it is not just digitalization of our currency, it is the cryptocurrency we are talking about. Because that is the only concept available right now for monetization of miners. Okay, so moving ahead, and this is the last question, guys. If you are building a front-end UI for a decentralized application, which layer of the architecture are you primarily operating in? Correct. Because we got the similar question earlier, and it was interaction layer that time where we were saying that UI is actually managed at the interaction layer. So that's the correct answer. Front-end UIs in decentralized applications are operated in the interaction layer. Okay, guys. So, I tried to create these few questions from the content we discussed yesterday. But if you guys have any question to ask or discuss, please feel free. You may write your question in the chat and we can discuss it. So are you all okay? Did you like this? Everything is good and helpful. Very good. So now, Gaurav, you should actually focus on the advanced topics so that you can be a, miner one day. Perfect. Anyone else? Any questions, guys? Akash, Sridarshan, Diksha, Shivahari. I am taking the attendance and nobody is actually answering to it.
We are
Daksh,
tracking, we are tracking the attendance and everything, and this is very important. These sessions are very important for them to clear the prototyping stage.
correct.
So
Yeah, that's what I want
we
actually
don't
them to
have any
ask
question.
anything.
Daksh finally answered, and then Akash also.
No, Daksh was actually participating. He answered few
Mm-hmm.
questions.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, few guys they are not even responding. I don't know whether they are attentive or they know everything already. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I don't think so. They already know because the level the efforts and
No, but I am assuming it actually that oh yeah, he is only teaching us these things we all know already.
yeah. So students, we are assuming that you don't have any other question for Mr. Kothari because it was really a knowledgeable and helpful session for you to understand, and it can really guide. It is a golden chance. You are, if you're facing any problem in your startup, MVP, any mentoring related question, anything. So we have 5 minutes. Else we can wrap up the call for the day. If you don't have any other questions.
No questions. Daksh
Thank
is
you,
saying.
Murari. You were really engaging and involving in the
Yeah,
session. It
I
was
think Murari is the only person who
yes.
answered all questions. I mean,
So I'm assuming Murari is the only one who understood the assignment. Gaurav too. Gaurav, you're the second one who was really
yeah.
attentive and
And then Gaurav, Priyanshu, and I mean, Paras, yeah,
Sahil.
Sahil.
Thank you, Sahil. You're welcome, Gaurav. Please make sure, students, you attend very attentively these sessions because these are really crucial. And I don't know if you're aware, these attendances and how much you're attended in these sessions can help you to scoring also to clear out the next stage and everything. So please pay attention here. All right, Mr. So, Mr. Kothari, I think it is good time to wrap up the call. And
Okay,
thank
fine,
you
perfect.
really for this insightful session for all of us. You really put your hard work and efforts to it, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.